Khalifatul Masih I. Subsequently, since then I have striven to maintain a relationship of sincerity and devotion with the promised Messiah alayhi salam through Allah's grace. He writes that once in Masjid Mubarak after Zohar prayers, when the promised Messiah alayhi salam was in the mosque, someone asked that a few Arya persons request a meeting. So Hazur called them inside and a discussion ensued. When the subject of salvation was being discussed, I observed that the awe-inspiring aura of the promised Messiah alayhi salam was so dominant that the Arya persons could not even speak openly. They even stated that salvation does not require belief in the Vedas as a necessity. In fact, whoever acts good will attain salvation. He writes that once I had the opportunity to read the Friday prayers in Masjid Aqsa led by Hazrat Maulvi Nuruddin Sahib, may Allah be pleased with him. The promised Messiah alayhi salam sat close to the grave of his father, which was in Masjid Aqsa. I availed the opportunity and sat nearby and would observe Hazur's movements during the prayer, that how Hazur offered it. During the standing position, Hazur had folded his arms on his chest, but his fingers did not reach the elbow. His neck was slanted slightly to the right. After prayer, the issue was raised whether Asr could be combined with the Friday prayers or not. So according to Hazur's guidance, Asr prayer was combined with the Friday prayers. During the last days of the promised Messiah alayhi salam's life, the Jamaat had already progressed much by the grace of Allah, and 600 or 700 people would attend the Jalsa Salana, the annual convention. Hazur says this was a companion speaking about the progress of the community at the time. He continues that we were once informed that the promised Messiah alayhi salam desires everyone to pass through the market so that non-Ahmadis, Hindus, etc. could see with their own eyes God's revelation being fulfilled, how people from far off were being drawn towards us, so this came to pass. Hazur says that Ahmadis today, by the grace of Allah, should be exceptionally thankful to God that the generations of those holy people are now spread all over, and their own generations are now in the hundreds. In addition, there are new people entering the community alongside. So look, the promised Messiah alayhi salam was saying, walk in the streets of Qadian to show people how big the community was. And today the whole world knows what the Jamaat is. Newspapers write about us, television programs cover it, that what Jamaat Ahmadiyya is. This is why, however much we thank Allah the Almighty, it is inadequate. So he continues that it was the custom of the time that before a guest left, he would seek leave from the promised Messiah alayhi salam before departing. Subsequently, I sent a note one evening requesting permission to leave. Hazur instructed in his reply that I grant permission, but that I should inform him in the morning before departing. According to this instruction, the following morning before leaving, I informed him. So the promised Messiah alayhi salam came in person to see me off. Others were also along with him. The promised Messiah alayhi salam came with us until the turning of the mud street. Various things were discussed on the way. I saw that Hazur was walking in a very relaxed manner. He appeared to be walking at a moderate pace, but actually was walking quite fast. Most of the Khuddam had to really keep up. The children had to run to catch up. He then writes that perhaps in 1900 there was hue and cry regarding the division of Bengal. I wrote an article, The Rights of Humanity, with this in view. The promised Messiah alayhi salam strongly disliked the element of rebellion. He would constantly advise his Jamaat to be loyal and faithful. In light of these instructions, I wrote an article and sent it to the promised Messiah alayhi salam that if Hazur so pleases, this article can be sent to the newspaper for publication. Hence, the promised Messiah alayhi salam had this published in Al-Badr. Hazur says that with the circumstances of various countries nowadays, it should be borne in mind that the promised Messiah alayhi salam strongly disliked rebellion. It was, in fact, the article against rebellion which was published. So he writes that once after the Maghrib prayer, the promised Messiah ﷺ was sitting on his Shah Nashin sitting place. Someone said that the local officer is arriving with respect to the proposed construction of the minaret in the morning. The promised Messiah ﷺ desired to construct a Minaratul Masih, but this was before it was built. The Hindus and others were opposing this plan.